Hello students, let's read the problem. And it says, solve 5x minus 10y equals 20 for y. Okay, so if you notice here, they're asking us to solve for y. In other words, they want for you to leave y by itself. Exactly. So think about the steps that you will need to do on a regular equation, right? So we're going to write down my problem. Okay, exactly as it is. And now I'm gonna have to think about leaving y by itself. So let's go ahead and find out where the y is. Because remember, that side is the one that needs to stay only with the y. So everything else, we need to move it out of there, right? So if you remember, on a regular equation, you always do the opposite operation. So we're gonna do the same thing, okay? So first, I'm gonna get rid of the 5x because the 10 is right next to the y. So that one needs to wait until the end, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna subtract 5x's on both sides. Okay, let's write down a line here. So 5x minus 5x cancels because think about 5x minus 5x is a 0, right? And 0 don't count, so I don't need to write it down. I'm going to bring down the negative 10y, and I'm going to rewrite this as negative 5x plus 20. Okay, just because I like to have the variable first, okay? Then, if you notice, my y, it still has a coefficient of negative 10, right? Therefore, I am going to need to divide by negative 10. And I'm dividing because remember the opposite of multiplying is dividing. So here, I'm going to divide each one of them by negative 10. Okay? So what I'm doing right now is I'm separating my divided by negative 10 into each term instead of writing a whole line. Because remember that that's going to help us to simplify. Okay? So negative 10 divided by a negative 10 is a positive 1, which would be 1y. Is that right? But 1y is the same thing as y, exactly. So let's just write down the y by itself. On the right side, I notice that I can simplify negative 5 over negative 10. This is what I have. So both of them can be divided by what? By negative 5? Yes. Right? Because think about it, negative divided by a negative is supposed to give you a positive, exactly. So this gives me a 1 over 2. So that's going to be 1/2 x, right? And 20 divided by a negative 10 gives me a negative 2. Therefore, I'm going to write down minus 2. Okay? So let's look at the answer choices. And do you notice that our answer then for this one is matching our answer choice? C, very good. Okay, so basically you are having two variables, but that's okay. Just remember that you need to remember what are you solving for, because that's the variable that needs to stay alone.